Hello everyone, how are you today? This is Marc. I'm doing just great. Thanks for asking. Welcome back. I recommend that you not put aside what you've already learned. It's best that you study English harder. It's a good idea I make a lesson on the subjunctive. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're back. The subjunctive is a very special mood and is used mostly in formal contexts. So it's used to explore conditional or imaginary situations, suggestions, commands, or demands. Fairly uncommon, mainly because most of the functions of the subjunctive are covered by modal verbs such as might, could, and should. So, the verb form of the subjunctive is infinitive without to. Do not forget that. It is used with certain verbs and expressions that I'm going to list after I finish explaining this part. We use it for a positive and negative sentences. So, for example, for a positive, we use the subject plus the verb without to plus the object. For a negative instead, we use it with a subject plus not, so no auxiliary here, so no auxiliary, plus verb without to plus object. Now, I'm going to list the expressions and verbs that we use with this subjunctive. So here we have the list of verbs. Advise that, ask that, command that, demand that, desire that, insist that, propose that, recommend that, request that, suggest that, urge that, and then I highlighted wish. I'm going to explain it later. It's a little bit complicated. The introductory example that I used was, I recommend that you not put aside what you've already learned. So here you can see that I did not use an auxiliary because we're talking about the subjunctive, and the subjunctive doesn't take an auxiliary. So we use not because it's a negative sentence, you, the subject, and then not without auxiliary, and then infinitive without to. You not put aside what you already learned. So this is a suggestion, okay? And you can see that this is in the present because I recommend now. Now let's look at another example. In this case, I chose to write a past sentence. So she demanded in the past that we keep quiet, okay? So here we have the subjunctive keep, okay, is a demand. She demanded in the past that we keep, that is very important, that we keep quiet. You can see that we don't use any auxiliary for that, and we don't use the to with the infinitive. Now, I said that I was going to talk about wish. Wish is special. When we use it for hypothetical situations, the verb that follows is always in the subjunctive, but past. What do I mean by that? Let's take an example. I wish, so right now, I wish I were there on the beach with you. This is an imaginary situation in the present. I wish I were with you on the beach. Okay? So, I said that because a lot of people get confused with, instead of saying I wish I were, they use I was. I guess we can say that, but it's better to use I were, or he were, or she were. It's just in the subjunctive or in the conditional sentences, it's better to use were and not was. But this is an imaginary situation in the present. I'm going to give you another example, so maybe it's clearer for you. He wishes, okay, so it's the third person singular, they stopped fighting, okay? And here we have the other verb, the subjunctive, but in the past, stopped fighting. Now, this is in the present, but what happens in the past? So I give you another example, always using wish, obviously, because we're talking about wish. So I wished, in the past, we went to your party yesterday. Suppose you had a party and I didn't go. But I wished, in the past, okay, I went or we went to your party yesterday. So this is an imaginary action in the past. And you can see again, wish stays wish plus ed because it's in the past, and went it goes in the past, obviously, because I said when you use wish in a hypothetical situation, the following verb is in the subjunctive but past. Okay, here is a list of expressions or that clauses that we use the subjunctive. It's best that, is crucial that, is desirable that, is essential that, is important that, it's recommended that, is urgent that, is necessary that, it's a good or bad idea that, and it's time, which I'm going to explain just after my examples. So my first examples at the beginning of the video were, it's best that you study English harder. Again, you can see that we don't use an auxiliary or the to form. Okay, we use the infinitive without to, obviously. The other example was, it's a good idea that I make a lesson on the subjunctive. Okay, make, again, right there. It's a good idea or a bad idea, whatever. That, don't forget that, because it's a that clause that we use it with. But we have it's time, and it's time is quite particular. Its time is almost always followed by the past form to refer to the present. Obviously, it's a subjunctive, and this is why I'm talking about this time, because it's a subjunctive form used like a present unreal form. And I gave two examples for you, so maybe it's clearer. The first example is, it's time he learned English. Suppose he has been learning French. So I said to him, it's time you learned English. So this is past, but is subjunctive. It's time he learned English. Now, another example could be, it's time you watched my lessons on YouTube. So this is the first time you're watching my lessons. Then I can say to you, it's time you watched my lessons on YouTube. Even though it's a present action, we use, or a present situation, sorry, we use the past to describe the sentence. It's time you watched my lessons on YouTube. So it's a subjunctive in the past. Two last things that I wanted to tell you about the subjunctive. Since the subjunctive is used for hypothetical situations, we use it with expressions such as if, as though, if only, etc. Just like my example. If Rome were a small town, things would be different. This is also the second conditional. But were is the subjunctive in the past. Now, we have also set phrases such as heaven forbid, come what may, so be it, God save the Queen. So now, let's recap. The subjunctive is used in conditional or imaginary situations, commands, demands, or suggestions. The verb form is the infinitive without to and is used for positive and negative sentences. It's used also with certain expressions and verbs. It is naturally used in hypothetical situations, so we use it with expressions such as if only, as though, etc. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any comments, requests, or if you want to post your own example, you may do so under this video. Don't forget to use the subjunctive. Don't forget to share my video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye bye.